Everything is going towards MSF and a great cause, so please keep it up. And with that, I have gotten word that we are ready for some Doom 64 with ZELLLOOO. So go ahead and take it away.
All right, hello everybody. I'm ZELLLOOO, or ZELLLOOO, however you want to say it. We're going to be running Doom 64 to kick off this little FPS block, but it's a little different than Doom 64 that we've had in the past. This is actually the re-release by Night Dive Studios that was done just this year. So you're going to get a little bit of a different run from normal. I'm joined by two fantastic commentators. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Hey, what's up? I'm Peaches. I was mostly a runner of the N64 version, and I'm just here to support ZELLLOOO on the PC.
Hi, I'm Punchy. I picked this game up with just the 2020 PC release because it's very, very good, actually. Very good. Play this game, actually. Do that.
So we'll go ahead and get started. Let me get back to the main menu. I will say, this black screen, this is what's happening on my game end. For whatever reason, Discord streaming has broken the melting transitions between screens. So that is completely normal. I don't know why. Don't freak out. It's okay. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get started with the countdown in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is Doom 64. This is actually released after Doom 1 and 2. It's just kind of a little side game, but it's pretty good and pretty faithful to the original PC releases, with a little bit more combat and puzzle solving thanks to the N64's original constraints.
I say this is the real Doom 3. I'm one of those guys.
Well, it must be because we skipped 61 Dooms along the way, so if you want to count with Doom. 1, 2, 64. Anyways, we've got a pretty important trick. We got a pretty important trick coming up right here if Peaches wants to explain key bumping.
Yeah, sure. So when there are items that are on like on top of platforms that Doom Guy just can't reach, if you run really quickly at them, it's possible to just kind of like reach your hand up and like grab it like a cookie jar on top of a fridge. And you can see that right there. He grabbed it when you're supposed to actually do a puzzle to lower that. And that saves time in two ways. Not only does he get the blue key before having to do that puzzle, it also means that he activated the puzzle, which meant that a script was running that causes these crushers here in this hallway not to come down. So normally you're supposed to wait for these crushers to like squish up and down before you can move through that hallway, but because the script of the puzzle was running, he was able to move through it without, wasting any time. This is like a really tight, pair of tricks that saves a whole bunch of time right here.
So
yeah, we've
here's
got a little
neat
bit of waiting
effect.
here.
Like a neat effect is these crushers like smashing through the ground. Because this game is still in the Doom engine, like the bulk standard, we don't know how the Y-axis works Doom engine. And it gets some really good looking effects out of that engine. But as a result, it also breaks in spectacularly weird ways when it does break. So is he gonna get this key bump first try? Right off the
Nope, not first try.
Yeah,
That's
so
okay, we'll set it up again.
The key bumps in this game are a little bit different than how they were done on the original N64 version. In N64, you can do a neutral reset, which is like a controller trick that lets you run faster than you're supposed to run.
Okay.
And you can't do that in this version, so your max speed is a little bit lower, but you can still go just fast enough to bump if you get these setups. So that's why you saw ZELLLOOO kind of like looking a certain direction, that's sliding along a wall. It makes it a lot more reliable than just kind of going for it.
Yeah, we do have the normal kind of FPS thing where you kind of move in two directions at once with strafe running, and the game will add those vectors together, so you get roughly a 40% movement increase in speed. So that's basically our main movement since we don't have neutral reset in this game. Anyways, this level is going to start introducing monster-based triggers where we need to kill certain enemies in order to make different things happen.
These are always really weirdly specific. It's never anything in a room. It's always these things particular in a room.
Yeah, it is really strange how they did that. Like for right now, all he has to do is kill these two lost souls, even if there's a bunch of Caco demons that spawn.
Yeah, the Caco demons are irrelevant to the larger picture. It's only those two lost souls. There are many instances of that, and there's no real way of telling. You just kind of got to memorize it if you run this game.
Yeah. It's a lot of this game in general. But this level really showcases like the Doom engine tricks, like being able to change rooms on the fly, and that's what I really love about the map design in this game. because, like I said earlier, there's a lot of very compressed maps due to just like cartridge space on the N64. So they made everything a lot more puzzly, be able to get more mileage out of everything. There's not a whole lot going on in this level, so this is actually a pretty good time for donations.
Yeah, sure thing. We have $50 coming in from Rook, who says, "Good, bad, I'm the guy with the donation. Put this towards the Blood Postmortem expansion incentive," which, by the way, we have reached over $1,000 for it, but we still need to make it to $5 grand for that to come up. So please continue to donate towards that.
Yes, please donate for Blood, because that game is awesome, and you haven't seen the 5th episode broken yet on a GDQ. You really want to see that. We could squeeze in one more real quick.
Sure thing. Crytime sends in $25 and says, "Just wanted to say good luck on the ZELLLOOO. Hopefully Cybers will play nice."
Thankfully, there's only 2 of them, so they should hopefully play nice. Anyways, this is going to be a lot of puzzle solving and maze clipping through this level. There's a lot of just back and forth with this one because we need to actually get all 3 keys in order to finish. And unfortunately, we don't have the bar clips like we would in console, so we're going to have to just do the level normally, which is okay. It kind of makes this version stand out, where you get to see a little bit more of a traditional level, and it feels more like a PC Doom speedrun rather than its own little thing.
Yeah, and this level is like really complex for how early in the game it is. It really embodies that kind of like classic Doom design of like hit a button here and some door opens up on the other side of the map. So really complex, and there's gonna be a lot of kind of like little tricks that ZELLLOO's doing to sort of like speed up little bits of it. For example, like there was a room where you have to wait for an elevator to lower and raise, and while he was waiting for it to come back up, he went and like closed the door that he came into and then reopened it so that it would stay open. It's just, there's a lot of kind of like little tricks like that that save maybe like a second or 2 at a time, and it adds up over the course of this really long level. Yeah, you'll see him like close the door and reopen it here.
That cackle might be in my way, though.
It's little clever. It's little clever things like that. So old Doom 64 does work mostly like, you know, regular
Almost a
Doom.
cycle.
But the balance is slightly different in that the super shotgun is massively better in this game. It fires faster, it reloads quicker, and generally, it's the gun you use for 95% of the video game. Why are there no enemies in this room? Where did they go? There's supposed to be enemies in there.
Don't worry about it.
I'm worrying about it.
Well, you can worry about this next level, because this is your favorite level in the game. I know it is.
I don't like this one. I reset so much to this one. But speaking of enemies not being around, so this is one you gotta kill some of these guys. Depending on how many of those you kill, more enemies can spawn over there, but that's irrelevant to the overall picture. That's just a thing that happens.
So that actually showcased a little bit of bad RNG on that rocket damage. Damage in this game is very random. Monster movement's random. There's a lot of randomness, so a lot of it is just improving, because that Hell Knight usually dies in 3 shots. They can die in 2, they can die in 4, and I just got unlucky and it died in 4.
Rocket splash damage being random drove me crazy when I found out that was the reason why it does inconsistent things. It's random whether or not it does splash damage to begin with, but then the amount of damage itself is also random. Here's a skip. Ooh, first try.
First try.
On the bounce. Bounce
Oh, but the block by the Baron.
That's why
He's playing goalie.
They can just move in the way. They kind of just wander. They do things.
Well, speaking of doing things, we're gonna make our way through the American Gladiator room right here.
Yeah, this is a really like run killer room, because these Hell Knights and Imps and whoever else can just kind of like walk in your way and block you. And if you fall, you have to go up this really narrow set of stairs on the side, and it's just a big time waster if someone boops you down.
Realistically, if you fall down that run, I cry and I reset.
Yep. All right, so we're going to have our only intentional rocket boost coming up here. Rocket boosts in this game are a little bit different from PC Doom. You get almost no sideways movement from them. It's pretty much all backwards, so it kind of limits what we can do. But we can still do this to get to the blue key early. I'm going to quick save here. Nope, that might not be the right angle.
It's also
That's not the
difficult
right
to
angle.
deploy because the damage, like we said, the damage the rocket deals is random, which does actually affect your jump trajectory somewhat if it doesn't do it, because the amount it knocks you is based on how much you hurt yourself in the process, which is random.
It's really hard to do that. I was surprised. Like on N64, you just hold up and you can run fast enough to go there. But without the neutral reset, you got to do that rocket jump, and it's really tight. Actually, I was surprised.
Yeah, I actually have an extra fire key bound to my keyboard, so instead of trying to time a mouse click with my button presses, I can just hit 3 keys at once.
That's
and
pretty
it helps
cool,
a
yeah.
lot.
And then you don't have to worry about like moving your mouse a little bit and screwing up your angle. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, this part of the level we've never seen in a GDQ.
Yeah.
Usually we skip the whole thing. We got a little bit more level to play. But I guess since we're on the topic of rebinds, this game has a lot of nice quality of life changes over the original console version, like the keybinds, the brightness, field of view, just all really nice little things that make this a really fantastic port.
I mean, the keybinds were pretty good on the original. And the keybinds you could like bind, shoot to down on the D-pad if you wanted. Like you do really stupid stuff.
This is true, but also it came up with strats as put run to down D-pad, and now you have to do really silly things with that.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can get this boost over the gap here. I completely skipped the trigger altogether. That was not intentional.
Yeah, trigger skips are kind of a thing. They're a little bit less common because you run a little bit slower, but when they happen, they can be really good. Or, I mean, they can be bad. So triggers can either cause enemies to spawn, or doors to open, or you know, keys to appear. And so sometimes it's good to skip them, and sometimes it's bad. And in that case, that was
backwards,
a good one.
backwards key bump here.
Okay. Nice.
So if you ever wondered if Doom Guy had good booty, he's got good booty.
Booty got key.
Anyways, we're coming up in the scariest room of the level right here. I need to kill 3 barons and not fall off. If I fall off, I cannot get out. So
Ooh, straight
we're gonna
across.
Yeah, that was actually
That's
something
powerful.
I didn't start doing again for a while. But
I know
we're
you
just gonna
could.
try and take damage. We're just gonna
Only
tank the imp
barons matter,
shots.
not the imps.
Okay, good. So we just try not to fall off here. And
Yeah,
we can
'cause
get
if
out.
you,
Nice.
if you fall in the pit, there's no way to get out. You die.
You're done.
Yeah. This game has a couple of those death pits, and it's kind of cheesy too, because when you think about like on the original, like there was no quick saving on N64. So if you go through this pretty long level and then you just happen to fall into the pit because a bunch of imps were throwing their little cheese balls at you, you just can't get out and you die.
Yeah, these stages
Right.
ain't short and they ain't easy either.
All right, who wants to describe arena levels?
Well,
He's killing
so,
things in a particular order because it is the fastest way, but you only need to kill the Hell... Goddamn, what are the enemies even called in this game again?
Hell Knights.
Hell Knights, thank you. God, I swear I played this game.
So here, there's going to be a cool trick called spawn prevention. If ZELLLOOO stands in a certain spot where an enemy's trying to spawn in, his body will prevent it from spawning, and that means that he doesn't have to kill it in order to activate the trigger to finish the level. And other enemies can actually spawn prevent each other. So if you were to get really, really lucky, then maybe a Cacodemon would like fly where the other Baron spawns. And that the enemy just never appears. And it's pretty relevant here as well. He actually wants to avoid a spawn prevention because when he kills all of these imps, a single pinky will spawn. And if you prevent this pinky from spawning, you actually like kind of soft block where you can't activate the trigger that would be activated by killing that pinky. So
Yeah, the game only checks for triggers and such after you've killed an enemy. And if there's no enemies to kill, you're out of luck.
yeah, it's not like, oh, no enemies remain, I'll let you through. It's, oh, you didn't kill anyone, I won't let you through.
There's quite a lot of softlock situations you've already just sort of casually avoided without mentioning it, because the thing with the line triggers in this game is that they're easy to bypass, and very often doing so just breaks the level geometries in ways that make the stage unfinishable.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
be a... Sorry, was it?
Now, we'll see a lot of that in the next level, actually, because Terracore's a good time to talk about trigger skips and such, and
Yeah,
the
for sure.
geometry of the game.
Wow. There's a lot to go over with that. BFG! Killing the room. It's safer to fire a shot there so you don't get, like, caught on enemies. You can technically get through without doing it, but who wants to take the risk?
Okay, let's see if I get the fast rocket strat here. I made a lot of crazy rocket strats when I started doing PC for this. Oh, I missed that one rocket shot. That's still good, though.
You gotta
So if
kill
you
all of
notice
them.
as he's running through here, there's a whole bunch of kind of bridges that he's running underneath. And he's going to end up going there later. And if you're familiar with the Doom engine, you might know that it can't really do over-under architecture. And what's actually happening is there's an illusion where as you turn corners, there are triggers that make the floor raise and lower instantly. and it's really hard to catch if you're not really looking for it.
What's not dead? There it is.
Yeah, depending on where
No.
enemies who's left. Jesus, guys are-
Neither Spectre died. Wow.
Really?
Neither. The BFG can roll high on damage, or it can roll very, very low.
Yeah, so these bridges are actually the floor that he was on, just raised up. And if you have an enemy's corpse underneath, like under that shadow that he just ran past, you can actually hear them get squished by the floor raising and lowering instantly. And if
It's
you run
pretty
too
funny when you
quickly,
hear that sound.
yeah, if you run too quickly in those areas, there will actually just be like a gap because the floor didn't raise up. So
Yeah, you can break the level that way and make it impossible to finish if you get locked behind a wall.
yeah.
That was something I had to contend with when learning this game. The effect and the illusion that this game creates on a casual playthrough is very convincing and very fun, but it was uniquely frustrating to learn as a speedrun, because when you start going fast, everything stops working.
Yeah.
Amazing technical achievement, but it does things the Doom engine is not remotely okay with doing.
Yeah.
The
Definitely
Doom
not.
engine does not understand the y-axis, so let's make a bunch of overlapping levels on the y-axis. Thank you!
Yeah, it's really interesting that this game actually only has 2 axes, and it's just kind of a nice illusion, like Peaches said.
Yeah, everything in this game collides infinitely on the y-axis. That is a thing the Doom engine does. If you try and jump over an enemy, you can't, because the enemy's presence several feet below you
come on.
will prevent you from going over them. But it's also the reason that key bumps work, because if you sort of clip into a platform slightly, but at that moment you match the Y position of the key on the pedestal slightly above you. But that's okay, because you collide infinitely, so you can pick it up.
It's okay, Doom Guy's just very tall.
Very tall, the tallest man. Infinitely tall.
Alright, there's not a whole lot left to this level, so this is a good time for just a couple donations.
Yeah, sure. We have $10 from JJ Schmidt77, who says Doom block is best block. Doom Runner says, I want to see blood. Must be true. Nudos sends in $25 and says, I keep meaning to pick up the Doom 64 remaster, but MSF is probably a better use of my money. And we definitely appreciate the donation, so thank you very much.
Yes, you should really get both, like donate and get this. This game is cheap. The remaster is available on PC and all modern consoles. It is $5.
If you bought Doom Eternal, you actually probably already had it. It came with that game for nothing.
But yeah, like $5 for a great port of this game and an additional campaign that we will be doing after this one.
Oh, yes, excellent. This has unique content. More than just a pretty port.
So we've got another script running on with those darts. I have to wait for this switch to be able to open up over here, so we just wait. But we're gonna hopefully have a good library. The library is pretty tricky because collision in this game is very finicky with you getting stuck. Like if Peaches wants to use the doorknob analogy.
Yeah, so playing this game, you get kind of like stuck on little edges in the walls a whole bunch, and my analogy for it is that it's kind of like Doom Guy has some headphones in, and there's doorknobs everywhere. And your headphones just get stuck on the doorknobs everywhere.
Get around the hell. Yeah, not bad, not bad.
No, he's stuck.
No, the stuck.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, yeah, that can go a lot worse than that, frankly. It's very variable. I've died straight up doing that before because I got
Yeah, they're
blocked
good
so
at
hard.
cornering you. They're good at cornering you because Doom Guy is very fat. You just can't see it.
It's like when you're like you're trying to like cross past someone on the street, but you keep walking in each other's way. And it gets really awkward. It's like that, but the person kills you.
That might be like this with these specters right here. Oh, there he is. There he is. Case in point. Thanks, Punchy.
A brilliant demonstration. Thank you, ZELLLOOO.
All right, so we've got some more monster triggers coming up at the beginning of I. This is one of the most dangerous levels in the run because the ending's very scary. We need to kill 4 Hell Knights to start, so we're gonna just kind of mop them up. Now's a good time to talk about the BFG if one of you guys want to do that.
Oh, not me. I don't get it. Someone else do it.
Okay, I can try. Well, so the BFG, I think people kind of think of it as a rocket launcher, but it's really more kind of like a shotgun. So it shoots out one big projectile, and when the projectile explodes, then a whole bunch of tracers come out of Doom Guy's eyeballs in the direction of the original shot. So what it means is that if you want to do max damage to something, you want to shoot while looking directly at it, and then like stare it in the eyes as the explosion goes off. And that's how you maximize the damage. So what it means though is that if you are moving to the side of an enemy, or if you look the wrong way, it's possible to lose a ton of your damage output. So what you might even see ZELLLOOO doing is like shooting a wall on purpose and then moving out and then looking at an enemy so that the aftershock kills it. And sometimes that can be like a more time-efficient way to kill someone. Yeah. Sorry, I was kind of preoccupied with the bump going on there. For some reason, that's a really easy bump. You just kind of like, you know. Like
it's really
shimmy
strange.
back
You
and
just kind of clip along the corner for a bit, and sometimes you get it instantly, and other times you have to wait like 5 seconds to grab it. I'm not sure why that one's that way. That one's actually free on console because you literally just hold straight with neutral reset, and you get it every time. There's a trigger skip.
Yep, straight over the teleporter. Didn't work. Went too fast.
Teleporters are just, you know, 4 line defs in a square that tell you to go somewhere else when you cross over them. So yeah, if you move too quickly over a teleporter, you just won't take it.
There's some lost souls in the way. I'm gonna go this way and hopefully not get destroyed.
Speaking of Doom 64 balance changes, Lost Souls are like the most dangerous enemy in the video game in this one.
They are
incredibly fast,
aggressive.
they're super aggressive, and they can hit very hard very quickly. And Pain Elementals are worse as a result of the fact that they spawn Lost Souls. But the Pain Elemental design in this game is great.
Yeah,
I'm
the
all
new sprite
about
work
Pain
in this game is
Elemental.
fantastic. Thankfully, Lost Souls only have half health in this game compared to PC Doom, so they're just glass cannons. But
Oh, how about that?
when they like to literally chase you across an entire map,
They will,
then-
they can and will do that.
Ow. All right, well, I didn't get an enemy to keep the door open for me right there, so I had to go open myself. Demons are not very polite in Hell, especially when I'm raiding Hell for at least the 3rd time, so I'm sure they're sick of me at this point.
Yeah, enemies can open locked doors just by walking into them. Like, enemies just like doing stuff. They all have the permission. They have the key.
So we have a little bit of platforming right here across these little platforms here, and platforming in this game is not exactly intuitive because there's no jump button, and you just kind of carry momentum as you fall off an edge. So if you're not dead center going to where you want to go, you're going to fall off, and there's nothing you can do to correct it. So not too much left in this level. There is one trick shot that we're going to go to with the BFG. We're going to kind of abuse the tracers and hopefully be able to nail everything in this last room.
That was a really good exit. I always get stuck on a Lost Soul on the way out of that one.
They like to do that. So we're going to fire here. And boom, everything's dead.
nice.
Also,
Whole room.
do not fall down that pit. You will die and can't get out.
That's it. Like, you can't get out of that one, even though the floor falls away from under you.
After a really long level, like, it's so rude.
That happened to me my first playthrough. I was not happy.
So this will be our next arena level right here. We actually need to do a little bit of exploration before then hit a switch. But this arena is particularly interesting because we're going to combine some more spawn preventions while we're doing it by killing enemies in a very certain order. If by standard we can get 1, but if we're lucky we can get more than 1. So we're gonna kill shotgun guys. We're gonna kill this pinky right here and this pinky over here. That makes the imp spawn. Nice rocket shot to the face. So 1 Hell Knight here. That didn't die. That still didn't die. And 1 Hell Knight here. Okay, so that's 1 Mancubus spawn prevented. And it doesn't look like I got any other ones. So we're gonna have those to deal with. And the Cyber Demon. I'm gonna have to play this safe. I have no health. Well, never mind. That's why I saved, thankfully.
Yeah, so you need like the really optimal like eyeball tracer shots in order to two-shot this guy.
Ooh,
Nice.
2-shot.
That's pretty much perfect. Yeah. Just based on like how you're looking at him, it means that you could take like up to 4 or even 5 BFG shots.
Yeah, that's why the optimal strat is to literally fire the ball and then run up and give him a big, big hug of death.
It also puts you directly in range of his rocket, which, like, as discussed before, rocket splash damage is random, which also applies to him as much as it does to you, which means it might just kill you immediately. Or it might tickle you slightly. That's the fun of Doom 64.
Yeah, Cyber Demon hits like a truck.
I'm getting beat up pretty bad, and I missed the key, so hopefully this Hell Knight doesn't get in the way. There we go. Yeah, oddly enough, I think Hell Knights are honestly more dangerous than Barons of Hell in this version, because the Barons have a little weird quirk in this version. The damage formula was actually calculated incorrectly for their melee attacks, so their melee attacks just kind of tickle you.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep, I need that Soul Sphere.
Get the health.
Yeah, I need health. This is the long level, so we kind of want to stock up where we can.
I
See, in
think
an
this is the
ideal
longest
universe,
level
you
of the
would be
run,
getting
isn't
hit.
it?
Anyways, there's a lot of waiting in these next two rooms, so this is actually a good time for a few donations.
I can do that for you. We have one for Peaches specifically, if I can just go ahead and find that again really quickly. There we go. Drecker sends in $25 and says, super glad to hear my good friend Peaches on the couch dropping knowledge for one of the best remakes in recent memory. I'll double my donation if Peaches can hit the mix. Feels Tamacho Man. Donation to Peaches Toys.
Oh, I gotta see the choices. I didn't think I would get to choose.
We've got $25 from Indie King, who says, there will be blood post-mortem expansion. We do still need a little bit more for that. Well, more than a little bit more, but keep them coming. We can absolutely make that happen before the run starts.
Yes, more blood is more good. All right, so we're coming into the back half of the level. Like, we've already gotten 2 keys, and we're just barely past the halfway point. And this room is really sketchy to get through, because there's a lot of enemies. And I'm wondering if I'm going to take the Soul Sphere early. Yeah, I guess for a marathon, I'll take Soul Sphere early.
I think the Lost Souls spawn blocked the pain elemental.
Yes, there was no pain elemental there. I noticed that. I was just like,
Aren't you lucky? Except pain elemental can kill you.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the pain elemental difference in this game. Specifically, they spawn Lost Souls, but they do 2 at a time in this game instead of 1 like in PC Doom. And if you try and block the Lost Souls with your body like you do in PC Doom, they will explode for rocket damage and probably kill you.
Oh yeah, that doesn't work in this game. Rocket damage, which may or may not just give you, because it has a random chance of doing like 200 damage.
Double rocket damage. It's disgusting.
Gross.
Well, I'm gonna hope the enemies
cannot
up
get
here are
anywhere
not...
near a pain elemental, or they will give you.
Okay. Okay, enemies played nice.
Honestly, it's a pretty confident spawn fear.
That was pretty good. In comparison, Spiral is pretty boring, so go ahead and read more donations, please.
This level's great. This is a classic level.
All right, we have $250 from Ryan Spryshak. He says, psyched about the Doom/FPS block. Donating what I can because I know not everyone is able to. Thank you very much for that one.
Okay, so we've got a pretty interesting trick coming up. We're actually going to abuse the height difference axis, because Doom Guy normally auto-aims, and you can kind of hit enemies above or below you. We're going to abuse that to hit this switch from way down here, and of course it happens first try in Marathon. Why couldn't that have happened during my PB attempt?
Yeah, that is not consistent. That will not happen first try all the time. And I don't actually know why. You just spread, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the spread. Shotgun spread's random, just like everything else in this game.
Typical classic Doom. Surprising amounts of this game, for like as a classic first-person shooter milestone as it is, are governed by complete random things.
I think it's sort of neat, right? Because it's like the things that are random aren't like, you know, oh, you play for 20 minutes and then you didn't get this drop, so you have to reset. It just gives you a little bit of spice and a little bit of flavor throughout the run.
Yeah, a lot of getting a good time in Doom games in general is just you're dealt with whatever luck you get, and you just mitigate it as best you can and react on the fly.
Yeah, you'll never.
That's what
get
makes
perfect.
it exciting.
You'll never get perfect RNG in one of these runs.
Never.
Never. Way too much going on for that.
I'm gonna make Punchy mad by doing this.
Wah! Makes it look
also
so
probably
easy.
Well, I almost fell off, so that was kind of revenge right there.
That's what you
But yeah,
get
just that window jump just makes it so much easier than falling off the stairs to skip that barrier.
Falling the stairs is more whatever. Do it your way. Or have it your way. It's your run.
Well, we're getting to the back half. We're getting some pretty long levels. Like Pitfalls is quite a beast. There's actually one key clip that I'm going to go for in Pitfalls.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't save much time, but I figure why not put it in the run.
He's doing it.
Are you talking about the blue ball?
Yeah, the blue key.
Okay, sweet. I never even go for that one.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it turns out you can do a corner clip on it, just like I did with the Dark Entries key.
Here's a little jump. This is This little like gap to cross that without going around the sequence of platforms is surprisingly exact. I have a hard time with that one.
Even I have a hard time with it, and I'm forgetting what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so we're gonna go for the blue key with the clip. It's not too much of a time save, like I said, but might as well go for it. Okay.
Nice. That's
Oh,
pretty
that was
cool.
reason fast. Oh, I got the
you
energy
bumped-
cell on the way
you
back
bumped
too.
the energy,
That's never
okay.
happened before.
Did you key bump the energy cell?
Yes, I did. I didn't even know you could do that. Marathon luck.
Yeah, and that actually helps too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
BFG shot.
Yeah, because the downside to doing the clip is that you have to not get the BFG shot, but hey, we just got it anyways, so cool.
Also, I don't know if this got explained before. The screen just got a lot brighter because you're invincible right now.
Oh, yes.
And so that's why he's got the rocket launcher out, and you can just like face tank a bunch of the kind of like lesser enemies that are in the way.
This is looking really good.
Yeah, this is
Ooh,
pretty good pitfalls.
Another clean little jump.
It's
That's
difficult
a
to get
really
that
good
jump
pitfalls.
fast.
Yeah, this is sick.
Really good
Pitfalls.
pitfalls.
All right, I'm gonna try for one more key bump real quick. This is to the blue key. You just kind of jump for it and pray you get it. I will save beforehand and just reload if it didn't go well. It's not a huge deal, but we gotta try for it. Doom Guy needs his swag. We're gonna clear out the stuff while we're waiting for this macro to finish. We're gonna get the, I'm gonna save, run for it, and we didn't get it, so that's okay. We'll just hit the switch and save ourselves the trouble of trying to save another like 30 frames or something.
Yeah, is it, what kind of time does it even save?
Yeah, it doesn't save much. It just saves just having to go down and wait for the switch to put the elevator
Thinks it
down.
looks cool.
Like I said, swag strats. So a nice little secret right here. We can refill health and armor and take a shortcut back, which is good because there's going to be a lot of Pinkies and Spectres in the way, and they like to get in the way a lot. And I've got the wrong shotgun equipped, so this is kind of bad. Okay. Yeah, pretty much once you get super, you really don't want to ever use regular. Like, super's just way too good. Super fires 20 pellets as opposed to the 7 from the normal shotgun, and one direct super shotgun blast can do the damage of a rocket. It's kind of silly how overpowered it is.
I feel like there's maybe like 1 or 2 points where maybe you could situationally use it, like on pitfalls and that kind of like or no, not pitfalls. I'm sorry. What's that like loop area with the arena
fair,
with all
yeah.
the specters? I guess you could use the shotgun there. I don't know.
All right, so this is like the longest level in the run right here. We got a lot of killing to do. I'm going to be pretty much navigating around this castle the entire time. There's a pretty neat switch puzzle that we'll get into later, and a pretty specific trigger skip too.
Ah, yes, the one that I don't know why it works, but it does work. How do you find these setups, man?
I don't know.
And we'll get
I
to
just do.
that when we get to that.
Where is the Hell Knight? He is not over here.
No, they have spawned in a completely different location.
He just wanted to just follow me around. Silly guy.
Ooh, using the backpack. Clever. Getting a little extra ammo for an extra shot. Getting a secret to refill the BFG ammunition, and you get the Unmaker, which we don't use because it's not good enough in the speedrun.
Yeah, we're gonna give it some screen time right here because the Unmaker without any demon keys from the secret levels is useless. It is horrible. I skipped that trigger.
Ooh, nice trigger skip, yeah.
It didn't work. Excellent.
So we got 3 waves of pinkies to wait through. Can't speed this up at all, so we just kind of wait until the Baron wave comes, and then we can activate the switch and get the key. And we've tried key bumping it, doing other stuff, and it just, there's no way to speed this up, unfortunately.
It just doesn't work on this one for some reason.
It doesn't want to. It's too high, probably. Like, it has to be a certain height. Like, if it's past a certain point, it won't work. Which is weird. I guess Doom Guy's arm is just not long enough. He should work on his arm exercises. All right, so here comes the trigger skip right here. Normally there'd be a pretty interesting yellow key trap if Peaches wants to explain.
Yeah, so normally they kind of like debate you here. When you try to go for the yellow key, they're like, oh, you want this? Yeah, and then it teleports it somewhere else. And you have to do it 3 times, and after the 3rd time, then it actually appears up on like the balcony. But if you skip this trigger with a very precise angle, it's pretty tough to get. It's pretty. This one's weird, even on N64.
There you go.
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
not only does that mean that he doesn't have to spawn the Hell Knights and worry about that, but also when you grab it legitimately, a bunch of Cacodemons spawn, and you have to kill the Cacodemons before you get back to this area. So it takes a lot of time to do
just
that.
not having to deal with them. It's like the less we have to kill, the better. So here's that switch puzzle. We actually had some signs on some of the doors earlier in the level, and those actually give you the combinations of keys and switches to hit those in so you can open up these barriers, because if you hit the wrong combinations, the room locks and you have to kill a Hell Knight to get out. We don't like that. So we're gonna go the back way over here, hit this area up. This area is pretty notorious for sometimes killing runs because you kind of bonk your head on the ceilings coming up, or this wall.
Or enemies.
Or enemies.
They do just chill out sometimes.
It's especially great when they get on the elevator later and they just kind of hit the ceiling.
Fortunately,
and they just make the
falling
elevator
down
come
here
right
isn't
down.
death.
Yeah,
You can bring
something
down
that's
the
really
platform,
annoying
although
is...
it's very unclear where you can do this from.
Oof, nice.
There we go.
The moving platform itself sometimes goes up and then just immediately comes back down, and I'm not even clear on why that happens. It's getting stuck on something.
The enemies are bonking their head on the ceiling, and the elevator's like, oops, sorry, my bad, and it'll go back down.
All right, so we're coming up close to the end of the run. We've got one Cyber Demon kill coming up, and then we've got the final level right after that. So since I have very, very high health and armor, I'm just going to go for a very aggressive strat.
Ooh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do the aggressive. Show me something, ZELLLOOO. I'm very excited about this. I want to see the big boy gameplay.
And here we go.
Plowing
He did
him.
die in 2, but that's fine.
It's good.
That
You
works.
get the Megasphere and he's back to full, like it never even happened. Easy. Easy peasy.
All right, so we're on the last level. We're just gonna do a quick energy refill to get our BFG ammo back, and then we have a very, very big arena to deal with.
Yeah, and he's actually going to hide here. So a bunch of enemies are starting to spill in through these portals, and they're like going towards you, but they're not actually aggro on you until they see you. And because a bunch of them are pain elementals, he actually wants to like aggro as many pain elementals out at the start so that they aren't shooting lost souls that are going to soak up his BFG shots. So,
One of my BFG shots just went to the skybox and did not detonate. That's bad.
Yeah, sometimes you do like a Babe Ruth and shoot it out into the distance. But this level is really interesting. So if you get the demon keys, which are there are optional levels which themselves are hidden, and then the demon keys are even more hidden inside of those optional levels. And if you get those demon keys, not only does it upgrade your Unmaker, but it also lets you hit some of those like buttons over there to close a portal. And closing the portal to me is the funniest thing because all of the enemies are in this warehouse way out of bounds. And when they get aggroed on you, they start teleporting out of the warehouse. And when you hit one of those buttons, it causes 1/3 of the ceiling to just fall down and just like smush all of the enemies. It's like a very like lo-fi way to do it.
Yep. Anyways, here's the Mother Demon.
Fairly decent luck.
There was the Mother Demon.
Hey.
And we're gonna kill ourselves. Time is coming up in just a bit once the screen goes black. And time.
Victory while dead.
Victory while dead.
Good effort.
It's with only 99% kills. Oh yeah. That was a pretty good run. What was the time on that? 37. That's pretty good. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I actually set a new record a couple days ago while I was practicing with a 35-32, and we're hoping to get sub 35 at some point on current knowledge, but we'll see what happens. But so that's the main campaign, but we do have a Lost Levels campaign coming up, so definitely stick around for that.
He says like stick around, like it's gonna cut to an intermission. It's like it's still you.
Hey, that's what I was told.
Don't
Still
touch
you,
that browser.
All right, we'll go ahead. Darn, if I'd known that, I would have let Peaches read the ending.